He had just come not long before, about a year before he came. He came to Melbourne and he got right away involved in learning with the Kinderlach of the school. Besides his Geulas of Merkez Linyan Chinuch, he was very much involved then in those years in teaching, and also adding in extra lessons. In those days, so for the younger classes, still in primary school, exactly how it worked, that 4 o'clock, so general studies finished, and then you had Mishnayos from 10 past 4 till 5 o'clock. And the Rebbe, he made something called Yud Aleph, from 5 to 6. And a lot of kids came and made prizes, etc. It was a new thing here. Well, not that we had experienced, maybe it was years before. But when it came approaching Yud Aleph Nissan, Tafshin Lamed Beis, the Rebbe's 70th birthday, this I remember very, very clearly, that he got children to be misnaded, to volunteer as a present for the Rebbe, going to learn extra hours. I think it was 71 extra hours in the forthcoming year to learn extra 71 hours of Torah. I think Rabbi Glick, the hospital of Chaim was involved in it too, I think. Exactly what the various aspects of learning should be. And he made, what he did was a very beautiful thing, presented the Rebbe a picture, a photograph of all of these Talmidim who were being misnaded, who were volunteering, and who were making this hachlota. And he took their pictures, a little photograph, and he wrote, he had a big chart made, and on it it said, Yemei Shleiseinu Bahem Yishivim Shana Ve'im Bigvuros. And he had whoever did the calligraphy for him. So in the tops of all of these letters, he fitted in the pictures of each of these Talmidim, and he sent it off to the Rebbe as a matana for Yud Aleph Nissan Shnas HaShivim, the Rebbe's 70th birthday, that children here in Melbourne, Australia, were making a hachlota to add in Limud HaTorah. So too, so the Rebbe, I just mentioned clearly, and the Rebbe said that that's the present that he wants, so we should make this hachlota, all of us, and those of us who had shaykhness with Rabbaru, we were his Talmidim in those years, early years, and many, many people here also. And then he had a lot of shul with adults, just making mention of the fact of his ta'amula in this area. This could also be, of course, the Ilui Nishmasei of Rabbaru, Rabbi Yeshua Shnei Zalman. L'chaim, Takashom, Ram Nalir, Ram Gan Eden. And he's definitely verbringen with the Rebbe. And that we say in the Sienu, and he should have us in mind, and he should be foiled, and we should have these galus, the complete galus of the Rebbe, but also the Shir Yad Mamas,
Let me know.
They have to know what people are eating over here. What do you think they want to stare at the plate? We should pass by all the food.
His attention.
Our first speaker, a guest from Sydney, Rabbi Levi Garadi.
Stretch it from here. How do you get?
4 bottles here.
I used to live there. Listen to it.
Chaim. So, Yud Aleph Nissan is not just it's not Stam a day. It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest days in the calendar. In Yud Aleph Nissan, touching Yud Aleph, surely one thought and one gedank. Yud Aleph Nissan, touching Yud Aleph, the Rebbe went to the oil, and the Rebbe gave over the following through somebody. It doesn't say through who. I imagine through one of the secretaries. That whoever wants to give themselves over, übergeben sich, folgen, whatever I tell them to do, without asking any shilas, they should sign their name on a piece of paper, their name and their mother's name. And those people that are signing their names, they haben sich nicht was zu schrecken. They don't have to. They're not to be scared about. We're not going to demand for them lalois hashemaymo. We're not going to tell them to go up to heaven. Aval they should know that it's an inyan ritzini. It's an ernst inyan. It's an ernst zach. Nit kein gelechter. It's not a joke. It's a serious thing. And they're going to have to keep what they're promising. So, in other words, sign your name. You have to remember, this is Yud Aleph Nissan, Tavshin Yud Aleph. This is 2 months after the Rebbe was Makabel and Asiyas. It wasn't like the Rebbe was screaming the fact that he's Rebbe, but this is a very clear sort of statement on Yud Aleph Nissan when the Rebbe's about to go to the oil for his own birthday, that whoever wants to give themselves over should give themselves over, and they should know that we're not going to ask them Lalis Hashemayma, but it's not a joke. And then, when they gave the Rebbe the piece of paper with all the names, he said again that it's a ernst zach, but we're not going to tell you Lalis Hashemayma. So what's the word? Probably a lot you could talk about here, but the first clue is that it's an ernst zach. It's a serious thing. Yud Aleph Nissan, it's not a joke. It's a serious thing. It's a serious day, and we really have to give ourselves over. Rabbi Gerner mentioned before, Yud Aleph Nissan Tafshin Lamed Beis. Yud Aleph Nissan Tafshin Lamed Beis, in a way, is like the symbol of what Yud Aleph Nissan looks like. It's I heard from Bachrim who were there. I mean, they're not Bachrim anymore, but people who were Bachrim then, that they were preparing for like 6 months before what their matana is going to be. I heard from one person who was there. I know him very well. Who's Mashpia now, that he did, as a Hachana for Yud Aleph Nissan, he learned 2 prakim in Baba Basra with Rashi, Shakul Bataria, Balpeh, and Hemshech Ranat, Balpeh, Shakul Bataria. We're talking about serious Hachanas. We're not talking about learning a Mishnah. We're talking about a serious matana. Anyway, you can all watch the video. It's on video. Yud Aleph Nissan Tafshin Lamed Beis. And the niggin of that year is B'cha Hashem Chasisi. And in general, when the Rebbe used to walk in those years, they didn't sing. It wasn't the normal, even by Fabrengens, they used to be quiet. The Rebbe used to walk in. But you see that before the Rebbe comes down, they're already singing, Bachrim especially, singing B'cha Hashem Chasisi with a lot of excitement. And when the Rebbe walks in, you hear someone start saying shh, shh, but they just can't hold themselves back and they continue to sing. And as soon as the Rebbe sits down, like even for like a few seconds after the Rebbe sits down, usually Mamash right away gets quiet, they're still singing. And then after the first Sikha, it's an unbelievable Fabrengen, it's a very famous Fabrengen. The Rebbe talks about Adam, La'omo Yivole, the whole Havaminus and the Gemara over there, a whole Hemshech of Sikhas. And after the first Sikha, they sing B'cha Hashem Chasisi. Or after the second Sikha, I don't know exactly. And it's very freila. You can see, not only, usually you see like when the Rebbe's ma'oid to the niggin, it gets even more freila. Here, it's like, even without the Rebbe being ma'oid, you see the excitement of the Bachrim. You can feel it just by watching it. And then there's a number of sikhs afterwards, and then the Rebbe says a maimer. And after the maimer, the Baal Menagin, whoever was starting the Nagunim then, started a niggin that wasn't, it was like, it was it's sort of like it starts off a little bit slow. And suddenly, like you hear from the background, the Bachrim is starting B'cha Hashem Chasisi again. It's an unusual thing. The Prophet sing the niggin twice. It just sort of couldn't. At that time, the mamish explodes to the roof and it goes on for quite a while. And the Rebbe's moed very, very strongly. But even again, it's just the excitement is unbelievable. Right after that niggin, the Rebbe said that I wanted to say something. I'm not sure the exact lashon, but this is the toichen. I wanted to say something, but ich hab gewart. I waited till I saw a Isoirus and a Isoirus begol. I wanted to say something the whole Fabrengen, but I wanted to wait till I saw a Isoirus, excitement, and a Isoirus begol. Understand Isoirus begol. And then the Rebbe goes on to say the famous Sikha about Shivim Moistus, that he's not retiring, even though he's turning 70, they should have 70 new Moistus in the coming year, etc. So what's the Vart? The Vart is, I don't know what the Vart is, but Yishleimar, Ula Yishleimar. Yud Aleph Nissan is a type of day that you can't just get together because you have to. In other words, the first time they sang B'cha Hashem Chasisi, okay, they were excited, but that was the Seder. The Seder was, you sang B'cha Hashem, you sang the niggin of that year. It was part of the order of the Fabrengen. That was part of the, that's what was done. That's not called the Yis'oirus Begol. That's checking the checklist. That's coming to a Fabrengen, because Yud Aleph Nissan, it's a little bit difficult because for Pesach we come anyway and we do it because we have to, we go home and finish it. The second time around, that's what the Rebbe called the Yis'oirus and the Yis'oirus Begol. Because that already was out of the norm. You can see that it was just out of pure iskashrus, pure excitement, the fact that it's the Rebbe's Yom Ledes. And Gur B'Pashtos, I don't think Yud Aleph Nissan you have to get to deep haskolas and deep things. I think it's very, very B'Pashtos. That it's an unbelievable day. It's a day, first and foremost, as the Rebbe describes a birthday, B'chlal, it's a Shevach V'Hidol Hashem Yisbarich that you were born. And for Chassidim, Yud Aleph Nissan is very pashut. It's a Shevach V'Hidol Hashem Yisbarich, and he sent down the Rebbe's neshama to this world, and we have a Rebbe, and that's what Yud Aleph Nissan is. And that statement enough is is enough to sing with Hashem Chasisi once and even again, and to do things which is not normal and out of the norm, and to truly celebrate Yud Aleph Nissan. And the Rebbe's hope is, as we start off here, that there has to be an ernst nezach. It's not just a joke. It's not just you come and you sing. It has to be something which you really get involved in, and you show that you have a yisoyrus, that you're truly excited at the fact that it's the Rebbe's Mimaledes, and not only yisoyrus, but yisoyrus begon. L'chaim, l'chaim.
Yeah. Chaim, Chaim.
Then I went to the doctor 2 seconds. And somebody came and took my son. So.
As it's well known, the Indian of Yom Aledes, the Rebbe actually brought into the Yiddish Welt. The Iker, it started, of course, after the status of the Rebbetzin, which is itself something to talk about, that during the Shloshim of the Rebbetzin, or shortly afterwards, the Rebbe is already concerned of the Tachlis and began the Yom Aledes campaign. Yud Aleph Nissan itself was a development. First, the Rebbe was only doing it in decades. When the Rebbe turned 50 on Yud Beis, and then Chav Beis, and then Lamed Beis, and eventually it turned into what it turned in. My father had a personal story, and for those who ever shopped at Khan's, its original name on Khan's near 770, that is. Its original name was actually Lipskers. My Zayda Yankel owned the store, and my father, after yeshiva, whatever it is, would help out with delivery. There was a little, now there's the expanded Khan's, but it was actually a small little shop and a bakery. And the Rebbetzin once made an order, and sometimes would ask that make an order at Lipskers, and then ask if there was a simultaneous bakery order. And she asked something should be picked up from the bakery, and then my father noticed a cake, and I think it said Yud Aleph Nissan on it. My father made that delivery a couple of days. It was a day before Yud Aleph Nissan or before. The next day when he came to make another delivery, the cake was already cut up, and the Rebbetzin made my father make a bracha and had a piece of the Rebbe's birthday cake. But it was an Indian that the Rebbe really brought to life and gefired, what the Rebbe called gefired, the Yom Aledes, and the Rebbe brought to life. As we all hope, many of us saw the video, and it's a very, very famous idea where the Rebbe spoke about a birthday. And the Rebbe said, L'choira, it's not something to celebrate, L'choira. What are we celebrating over here? On a spiritual level, it's only down. I mean, the little child has just lost all of the Torah he ever learned. On a physical level, he was in a much more safe space. So what's the idea? What's the difference if you ask a goy? What's the difference? What's a birthday? I mean, you existed a day before, you exist today. What exactly changed? But of course, any child will tell you, well, yesterday you were completely dependent, and now you're independent. And the Rebbe made note that this is big enough. And the Rebbe mentioned that Agam, you forgot the entire Torah. It is big enough, a birthday is big enough to celebrate, that we can overlook the fact that all the downsides that happen when a baby is born, and that you're now your own human being and farkaret, now you're going to be able to acquire Torah yourself. If we may say so, Yud Aleph Nissan, I think, is especially important for us, and the special message that the Rebbe had for us.